and
Now? Oh.
Well, so much for that's the first time it's flickered today, so.
And if it goes out, we're screwed. Are you ready? Should we slate it?
Yeah, let's go. Let's
do
just
this thing.
let's keep running where we're.
one more time.
SlapperCast episode number 72. In the rain. Not on a train.
No, we're
Walking
inside.
in the rain.
Yeah.
Remember. He knows what I'm talking about.
All it.
In December.
Speaking of Phil Spector again.
Oh,
The Spectre of Phil.
yes. Spectacle.
So we delayed our session by 30 minutes because of a huge thunderstorm that's rolling through town.
That's a collective I, but
Yeah.
I was out driving in this shit
yeah.
because I had a meeting at 10 with Mike Henry from the Percussion Center.
Oh, yeah.
And I was driving. He lives way up on TC Jester and 43rd.
Way up.
So I was coming down. Well, I mean,
I went to Rockport yesterday for fun.
Jesus. So driving down, it was raining like a mofo through the whole thing. So
Yeah.
that's why I got kind of like, are we doing this or what?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
dude, I've been out in it for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, and right before I left, my power went out. So that was fun. So hopefully it'll be back on by the time I get home.
Those West U people don't stand for power. I'm sure it's back on already.
Yeah, I already got a notification from
One phone call
from the power people that we know there's a power outage. Leave us alone. So
Did you tell them to improve their tone?
yeah,
I would.
I don't like their
Take that
attitude.
tone with me, young lady,
Yeah.
man, person, robot.
Yeah. Oh, and just to start, I want to say thank you, Laurie, for the coffee.
This is really good.
Got really good reviews today. So
Yeah.
thank you, Laurie.
What is this?
We need to start. We need to start a. We need to turn this into a coffee.
Coffee talk.
Yeah, coffee talk. But we need to review this stuff because.
We should just bring a bag in every other week or so
Yeah.
and just be like, here's what I brought. Oh, this tastes like shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks,
See you next
Eric.
week.
He brings donkey again.
What did she give us this time?
Coffee. I didn't read the label. I was in a hurry.
God.
No, it's dark.
This review
roast.
is off to a good start.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Dark
Starbucks?
roast what?
it's a Colombian dark roast, and I'll give you the name. I'll give you the name later.
We can link it.
Uh-oh.
We can link it to the.
Yeah,
To the link.
show notes.
Okay.
But what a time to be alive, huh? We the people that came to Ireland with us last time will remember Doc Doherty. He's a South Philly boy, but just one of our favorites. I got to spend yesterday, which was Father's Day, and
Happy Father's Day, by the
That's
way.
right. Yeah.
thank you, yes. Down at down in Rockport, Texas, and what a beautiful little town. Eric,
I've been there.
you've spent,
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, you spent some time there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Rockport?
I don't think so.
I know we've driven through it, because we have to go that way to Corpus, but ish. But what a delight! I mean, I found good coffee down there, and just aside the ocean, the breeze, found a great little Irish pub down there. If you find yourself in Rockport, go to Fulton's, ask for Monica. She's the manager there, and you will be taken care of. What a delight!
And Rockport is where Harvey made landfall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harvey being the huge hurricane that hit this area
Decimated.
3 years ago.
Yeah, decimated the town.
Yeah.
And so when we went to Doc has access to this sanctuary where the whooping crane migrate to. So sat in the porch, this screened-in porch, watching the deer. He fed the deer, and the deer came right up to the window, and just phenomenal time. So I want to thank
Nice.
Doc for that. And he's a huge Blaggard fan.
Yeah.
And he has been pushing it. I think every business down there has heard of us thanks to him. He's been spreading the word, and so we had a great time with Doc yesterday, and the day before we were with Laurie and Chris. That's when I got Enzo.
How's
How's he
Enzo
doing?
doing?
Yeah,
Nice. Unison.
It's
yeah.
the second time we've done it.
Yeah. So if you were watching the last live broadcast we did with Baby Bucks, Chris Buckley, we dedicated a song to Enzo because he had just got out of surgery, and he has some throat issues. Well, he came out to see us the day before yesterday, or 2 days before now, because it's Tuesday. He is in great spirits. He just talk about a fighter. He's using a feeding tube right now. I don't think you mind me saying, and his hair is nearly as long as mine. He's got this massive head of hair, and it looks great. So he's doing well, and we just passing along that. So Laurie's father, Enzo Valenzi, he is doing so well, and
That's great.
Great to see him.
Yeah.
Huh?
What? I missed their pool.
Yeah. That's where we went down to.
See.
To lounge in the pool, and so we did.
That was classic when we were on the news a few weeks ago, and that was the most recent live stream that we'd done, or not. Maybe it was one of the recent shows. They looked at that footage and they just assumed that it was a real pub. But they're doing shows at pubs and even a warehouse.
The warehouse. I got to talk to him about going in there and doing a rehearsal or something like that. Keith?
Oh, yeah.
About doing getting our ears fixed.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So let me reach out to him. Maybe this week we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Cool. Do a rehearsal.
Yeah.
Kick out the cobwebs. Kick out the jams.
Hey.
What?
Write that
motherfuckers.
Down. Write that.
MC5.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the title. I know the title. I never internalized.
You heard that song?
band.
You've heard that song.
I must have.
Oh yeah. You once you hear it, it definitely leaves a mark.
I think the most MC5 I've heard was in the Iggy Pop documentary that Jim Jarmusch directed. I think the one has. Did you see that?
Speaking of Jim Jarmusch,
Yeah.
We just watched that movie, The Dead Don't Die. You seen that thing?
No.
God. It's basically an hour and a half long commercial for Sturgill Simpson, who's a country guy whose career took a shit because he wanted to get all experimental.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Tom Waits is in that movie, too.
Tom
right?
Waits is in that movie. Bill Murray, Adam Driver, the really skinny English lady that always plays a queen or an elf queen. She was the elf queen in fucking Lord of the Rings there.
Oh, yeah.
Shelley Long?
No, the other one.
That's my
Every week. You gotta get it.
Anyway.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't.
So
think
Jim
of the name.
Jarmusch directed it, and it's very much it's fine. It was kind of pointless, but
Really?
zombie movie.
Yeah.
Very very dry humor. Also kind of poking fun at the current administration and policies and stuff like that. So.
Oh, the Iggy Pop documentary. I don't know if you saw it. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's really good.
Good.
That's a good one.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I like something. Oh, Eggy's in the movie. Eggy's the first zombie to show
good.
up.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
and they go, and you'll appreciate this. Him and this gal come out of the grave, and they stagger over to this diner, and they eat the two people in the diner. But then the girl gets up. She's like, coffee, and they both grab coffee cups and they're just guzzling coffee and drinking coffee.
I'm going to watch it. I've heard of it, and I'm.
You be the judge.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything more about it. It's definitely a Jim Jarmusch movie where it just kind of like ends. It's like, well, that's movie's over. What's next? What else can we watch?
Yeah.
I think Down by Law was the first one I saw that he did, and Tom Waits was in that.
Name
one
again?
too.
Yeah.
Down by Law.
Okay.
Again, another movie just kind of like, here's the story, and now the story's over.
Yeah, I want to say it's been years since I saw that. I can't remember it. I know I've seen it. But
I remember seeing it when it first came out on video back in 80
something.
9, 90.
Yeah.
You guys need to get out more.
True. Anyway, what else we got?
I went and watched that movie I was talking about last week. Subway, the Luc Besson.
You went and watched it.
Well, and I rented it. I was just if you go and watch this movie, it is a really fun movie. But there's two things you need to know about it. If you rent it or you try to get it on iTunes or any streaming service that it's on, it's going to be unfortunately the English dubbed version.
Oh, gross.
Not the subtitled version. and that ruins the movie. It absolutely ruins it. All the humor is just
negated.
There are subtle things in the humor that they actually use the subtitles to do. There's this one scene where there's one of the bad guys. It all takes place in the French subway, I guess in Paris. I'm not sure, but one guy makes a getaway and on a train, or actually jumps across the tracks. Just anyway. So and the French guy goes. The French guy goes. He starts when he realizes he lost and goes merde, and the subtitle saying shit. And then there's a long pause, and he goes, shit, in English. They changed the merde, they subtitled it as fuck. They like, well, he's saying shit 3 times in a row. We can't, we've got to change the subtitles because it's not, so to be different. They thought the humor was that it changed from one word to another word. Like, no, it's the same word, it's different language.
Interesting.
And it ruins the whole, so there's stuff like that, of course. But anyway.
They should have just cut that scene. I mean, I kind of potty mouthed,
And the other thing, too, the music is terrible. The music is awful, and that's the only.
Even the song that you like?
Oh, the song itself is a little cheesy. I mentioned that last week. It's not the greatest song, but it's much better than the background music. It is just like a cheesy, horns laden 80s, very 80s, extremely dated music.
I like it.
Anyway,
sorry, I interrupted you, but yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. Don't go and watch the dub version. It's awful. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, there's no interruption. We're free flowing today.
Open forum,
exactly. So, but it's been very fun watching the comments coming in now from this. I've really been enjoying the YouTube comments on our programs.
Oh,
yeah, people have been, especially John Nania, who is not known for talking all the time, but my God, that guy doesn't stop. No, he was critiquing my see, I don't watch. I can't watch it. I can't watch myself. I can't hear myself. But John was very fast to point out that I a lot. So
just you.
Well, John's he's like a cellmate. He's very hard on me.
Well, and part of the reason for this, I used to be able to edit that stuff out. In the past, I used to the really early.
Oh, you mean I'm getting worse?
Show. No,
shit.
No, the difference is I don't have time to edit all that stuff out anymore.
No, you don't need to.
And plus, with a video, it would be jump cut.
It seems like it jumps around enough.
I think you've gotten better actually. So that's why.
Good God. Well, there you go, John. Maybe you should watch Sesame Street.
Yeah, but if you listen to the early episodes, neither of us we all because I edit all that stuff out. It seems very like we're extremely rehearsed and very on
Yeah, but it has been very fun now with the third. When adding your personality,
my personality,
your humor into it has been much easier to especially to keep those think of it as a tennis match, being able to volley the subject and just keep it up, keep it lively versus the Chad and I, because there's so many hours spent in the van, it turns into this. Well, I know what you're fucking gonna just cut that part out. Don't say that again. Don't fucking say. I don't want to hear about talking who. Fucking Beatle. What? It just got to the point where you know the next line coming out, and as a punter listening, maybe it might be exciting in parts or even vaguely interesting, but here it's not. And then adding the third in, you're able to just jumpstart some of that stuff and at least sidetrack it to the.
Yeah, no, you came in at the perfect time, I think, because I think another year of just him and me, we would have been. Okay.
Welcome to the 4-minute podcast.
Yeah. And it's funny, but you two have a really good banter back and forth. And every week I've been having a lot of fun editing the two of you going back and forth and trying to figure out when to do the cuts and everything.
Oh my God. And it makes me dizzy thinking about it.
I only put up one clip of last week's show separately, which was when we were ragging on Buc-ee's.
Which was taken out of context. We all love Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I know.
As long as it's on fire and far away from us.
Everybody's going, but I love Buc-ee's.
I got a soft spot for Buc-ee's.
We're just criticizing the music and the silly gift stuff they have. That's it. Yeah. We go there all the time. It's okay.
I don't.
You don't go there now?
No.
Well, we do when
that
we're on the road.
Yeah, well, you have to. When it's
They've got the
if
best
it's 3
gas
in the morning,
prices.
that's what's
yes,
open.
yes,
And that's really the best time to go. It's between like 1 and 4 in the morning.
yes. And then
Because there's nobody there.
there's 17 employees. Good morning. Good morning. Hi.
Hi,
Good
welcome to
morning.
Buc-ee's.
How are you?
You walk in, you go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
you wash your hands, you come out, you get your coffee,
You wash your-
your snack, and then you're out the door.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, although the breakfast tacos are pretty okay, but
We used to get kolaches at the one outside of Austin on the way home. Yeah.
I like me some kolaches.
Yeah.
I don't eat them though.
It's funny to me now is that all the Buc-ee's they're building now are like 10 times bigger than they really need to
They're
be.
fucking gigantic. Well, 60 gas pumps, 80 gas pumps, something like that.
100 ice machines or ice boxes, what are those things are called?
I did read the Texas Monthly had an article about that guy who started Buc-ee's, and I was like, well, let me see. I'm always interested in how people get things started, especially businesses. And yeah, he was just a guy that worked at I think his grandparents had like a little general store that kind of sold a little bit of everything. And then he's like, oh, I got an idea. We'll put some gas pumps in, then we'll do this, we'll do that. Next thing you know, kaboom. Of course, literally, figuratively, suggestively, documentarily, there's a lot of shit in that store. I mean, just a lot of shit in that store.
That's the only time I get exercise on the road. And walk from from
the
back
gas
to front,
pump into the
side
building,
to-
which
yeah.
is
But then then you walk side. But you just walk down just on the off chance something fell off the truck that was interesting to buy, and it's not there. It's not there.
And we're talking about the gift shop portion of
Yeah,
it.
that's
Well, I mean-
but then you go to the salsa section, and it's not. You can get that same stuff. I mean, it's basically ketchup with an onion in it. It's not a
I don't know if I would trust Buc-ee's salsa.
That's what I mean.
I mean,
it's gonna. You're gonna.
Yeah, I would go if I were like if we're out in West Texas somewhere and we stop at a rest stop and they have like Oma's salsa. I might buy Oma's salsa, but
Case in point,
or
Brenham,
local thing.
when we were in Brenham last time.
Oh, yeah.
And that hot sauce that I bought from that little boutique place down there,
Yeah.
out of this world.
Yeah.
It said spicy or it said hot or extra hot or whatever, and they were right.
Yeah.
I broke a little.
Well, because
sweat.
that's also that small batch thing.
Yeah.
The small batch thing is way better than the mass
So that's what I want. And
Kettles of salsa.
Yeah, you can't find that everywhere. And of course, places like Buc-ee's are mowing over and mowing down and destroying the mom and pop.
Yeah.
It's
It's the Walmart of gas
Yeah.
stations.
Yeah.
Gosh, I never thought of it that way.
Oh, that's all I thought about.
So here we are. We're trying to undo.
Try to say we like Buc-ee's and then we just cut them down again.
We just went right back to dragging them again.
They wanted to sue. There was a company here in Texas called. It was a gas station chain with a convenience store called Snappy's, and it was like an alligator with a baseball hat. And Buc-ee's tried to sue them because of copyright infringement because Buc-ee the beaver wears a little baseball hat.
Well, there you go.
And an alligator looks exactly like a beaver, apparently, and alligators can't wear baseball hats either.
Now that you mention it,
So they tried to sue Snappy Mart, and they didn't succeed because Snappy Marts are still in existence. FYI.
Wow.
Next time you head west on I-10 and you stopped at the Lake McQueenie exit, there's a couple gas stations right there, just outside Seguin. There's a Snappy Mart right there. So there you go.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Reminds me of you wouldn't. This is before your Houstonian time, but when Two Pesos got sued by Taco Cabana and put out of business. You remember Two Pesos, right?
Very well.
Yeah.
I used to eat there every bloody night.
We've talked about that. Yeah. Two Pesos got sued by Taco Cabana for stealing their concept, which they kind of did. Let's just face it. But they were doing it better than Taco Cabana was.
It's fast food tacos. Who isn't doing that these days?
You'd have to be there to understand.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
time.
he was. I mean, it was the same floor plan, the same counter service, and come pick up, order here, pick up there, and
But the food was 10 times better than Taco Cabana was.
When was the last time you had a Taco Cabana? Anyone?
Years.
7 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I think I ate at one when I was teaching down at Fort Bend because I had a time off and I went and got like a breakfast taco there.
That's actually not true. It wasn't. It was less than 7 years
So I'm
ago
gonna say-
because we went there as a band
2 years ago.
in.
We went there. Was it with you? Was I with you that time? No, it was with somebody else.
Yeah.
Sorry.
else. Yeah, that time.
Another band. Sorry.
I twice in one day. Cut the tape.
One thing I will say, I will not hesitate to say about Two Pesos now because they don't exist anymore. They were notorious for not carding when you order margaritas. Notorious. In fact, it was very rare that they actually carded anybody.
Nice.
So a lot of my first beverages before I turned 21
were at
Taco Cabana. Yeah.
Do you guys know Skeeter's? Skeeter's Grill.
Yeah.
I mean, Two Pesos. Not
There's one down in West U. There's a couple out west, stuff like that. So their advertising campaign for a while, they had like I think maybe like dollar margaritas or whatever. They had this campaign, huge window poster that say Skeeter's Bar and Grill, dollar margaritas, and the cup that they used it said Child's Cup on the actual cup. So like they were using the kids' cup as their advertisement for their $1 margaritas. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Come get fucked up, kids.
Yeah.
Bring your parents.
Yeah. Designated time. Like it.
Anyway, food.
Where you grew up, what did you call it when you went to a fast food place and you filled up the soda with every single soda that was in the?
Call that lunacy.
Did you just make up the word now? Is that what you call it?
Lunacy? Fucking crazy?
Yeah, but is that what you're really?
I would never do that.
I know, but
all the sodas?
Yeah,
all the flavors.
You never heard of this before?
Yeah, I have, but who does that? Psychopaths.
Kids.
He did.
Kids.
We called it suicide.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Okay. No, I don't want to ask you.
I want a Coke, or
I'm
I
just
want
asking for the name.
Fanta orange, or I want a whatever.
Oh, it tasted terrible. That was the point. That was the whole point of doing it.
Tasted what?
It tasted awful. Every time.
You think?
Yes.
Were you allowed to get free refills?
And then the dominant flavor was always Diet Coke. Or whatever the diet soda was. It would just kind of obliterate everything else.
That's why, when your battery is corroded over, that's why they say to pour Diet Coke on it, because it eats away the corrosion.
Oh, really?
Think about that, people. Yeah. Think about that. Next time you get a Diet Coke.
Yeah, it's
Sally in accounting.
Yeah. Well, we used to put coins in Coke
just to watch them.
To clean them.
Yeah.
And they come out better, shinier than they were when they were made. So
sounds like a science experiment.
It has been. People put like baby teeth, put them in there and watch it dissolve and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yummy. Although I must admit, I do enjoy a rum and Coke Zero once in a while. So I know. It's not Diet Coke though. So
I gave up drinking soft drinks long time ago. I had a couple, but at different shows, that have been just scorching or whatnot. It's just. But no,
it's not good for you,
dude. Yeah, I can't stand the initial, the first sip, wonderful. Second sip, trash. It's just gone. It's just I have no taste for it now.
That's why I like the club soda and the bitters at a show, because it gives you the idea. It's like a soda, but it's also like a cocktail, but it's non-alcoholic, and it just gives you the vibe that you're drinking something that's just not plain water. The water's good for you. Obviously.
Well, and then other places when the water does taste like toilet water, a little lime, little lemon, little
pip. Yep.
I'm nearly done. Settle down.
It's back.
So, but yes. Stay fit with Blaggards.
Yeah, I have sodas occasionally. Very rarely now. It's usually like a dessert.
Well, your sodas have alcohol in them, like beer and.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I much rather would save my calories for that if that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. But I used to be completely addicted to Diet Coke.
That was the biggest shock to me.
And then I just stopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't drink it anymore.
Does taste like.
I can't drink it. I can't remember. I think we're at a show somewhere and they had some. I just really wanted something cold. And I had one. I couldn't even finish it.
Got a girlfriend.
I couldn't finish it because it made me, not because of how it tasted, but just made me feel weird after a few sips. Like, it was like giving me a headache.
There was a while when I was in Austin and coming back and forth playing with Mike Stinson. This is between 2010 and 2012. And driving home late at night, going back to Austin after the gig, I would get like a Red Bull or a Monster. And then about a month later, my stomach was just like all tore up. I was like, no more of that. Mm-hmm. So I haven't had any of that shit in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Those energy drinks are just, terrible for you.
I steered my kids away from that for the longest time because we would, once in a while, just have a Coke or something with the meal. And I've steered them away from that now just because we didn't drink a lot as kids in Ireland. We didn't drink a lot of that stuff. And that stuff was made with sugar cane versus the stuff over here. Mm-hmm. But you know, to food these days with the amount of sugar in the food, never mind just the drink. So that was just one of the little things that we cut away from the meals. And it was just
amped up, drink some coffee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter drinks coffee with me every day, and she's become quite the connoisseur. And she got a cold brew yesterday in Rockport and gave me the rundown of it. It sounded really good, but I still got the coffee with the shots in it. And yeah, I'll be back down to Rockport. Actually, hopefully we'll be back down there playing.
Let's go.
Monica's very interested in having it's a small stage in the corner, but great big room and right on the beach. And what a town! What a town! Can't wait to her family, believe it or not. So anybody not familiar with Texas, A, sorry, and B, familiarize yourself with Whataburger when you come. I don't eat a lot of fast food, but Whataburger is definitely one of my favorite burgers in the world. And but Whataburger has her family, Monica's family. She's the manager of Fulton's, in case you weren't paying attention earlier. She has her family has ties to the beginning of Whataburger. And Whataburger is huge down in those parts because that's where it began.
Down in Corpus.
And down, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know the history of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've eaten at the flagship many times down at
I've been there.
Down in Corpus. But their family and their the Whataburger story is rampant down. And H-E-B and Whataburger were instrumental after the big hurricane in helping the Rockport, all the surrounding areas. They were the first in, and they were open all the time and just helping. Just wonderful organization. So H-E-B is our local food, like your Kroger's or your Winn-Dixie or your Publix or whatever you have.
Mm-hmm.
But H-E-B are without they're my favorite grocery chain.
They're a great company.
It seems like they have their shit together.
Yeah.
They take care of their people.
They
really
take care of
do.
their people. The people in there, just like Doc said yesterday, they want to be there. It seems like they want to be there.
Yeah.
Friendly.
And they're actually paying a decent, I've been looking at online at wages, actually paying a decent wage.
That's got
living
to be
wage.
part of it. Yeah.
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 So I'm a big fan. But also Whataburger, they're I know they were sold recently to a company out of Chicago.
I heard they were sold, I didn't know to whom.
I forgot. Yeah, it is a Chicago-based company.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So they've been, but still, they had been doing wonderful work in Texas, and I remember we got very excited. We were playing in Jacksonville, Florida, and we found a Whataburger. They made it taste just like Florida. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you using? Gator meat? This is awesome.
Whataburger outside of Texas just feels weird.
It's like eating Mexican food north of I-10. Don't do it.
That's my.
We know the story about Whataburger.
I love it. Don't.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
So the
Side Mike.
guy and wife, 3 kids, 3 little kids. And the guy who owned a Whataburger was a amateur pilot. Used to fly little planes, stuff like that. And one day he flying and crashed his plane and killed him. Died. And so the very next day, the widow was like faced with, here you have this company that's starting to grow. What are you going to do with it? And of course, all the sharks are in the water. And they said, you should sell it. Your husband just died. You got 3 little kids at home. You're a woman in the 50s. You can't do this. And she said, fuck you. And she basically ran that company up until the 80s, I think, as being the one of the few women-owned businesses, massive businesses in Texas, let alone the country. And then her kids took it over the last 20 or so years, 20, 30 years or so. And I guess they recently just sold it, like you said. But there were 3 kids, and each one, like, the girl was kind of like in charge of like all new store openings and employee stuff. One guy was the chief executive officer, and one guy was the chief financial officer. I might be getting all that wrong, but I remember I went to a lecture about it, like the history of Whataburger in Austin one time, and I was just interested in it. And there's your Whataburger story for the day. Woman-owned company for the longest time.
Wow, cool.
Yep.
That correlates with a lot of the stuff that we were talking about yesterday. So
Yeah. Good stuff.
Good to yes,
What else we
indeed.
got? Man, we're just kind of, I like this freeform shit, man. We're just kind of, we're just riffing.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, and this is not going to be off the table for a long, long time, is we're talking earlier about gigs, and the phone's ringing. We have interest in gigs. And what we are now sharing with you is, we're going to continue to keep ourselves and our families safe. We're going to play if it's possible. I cannot wait to get back in the van again. To play multiple towns.
Just go sit in the van anytime you want to. It's parked right there.
Well, thank you.
We should do a podcast from the van one day.
Yeah,
We've tried.
yeah, we really have.
Oh, never mind.
When we're actually on the road, we tried. Anyway.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, don't. It's not an interruption. It's an addition, motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up.
So so the phone's been ringing. We've got more than enough places to go and play. However, the problem is the capacity. And so recently, some of these clubs have been shut down because they've been disobeying their liquor licenses have been suspended.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
In Houston?
I think Austin.
Well, Houston as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about Houston. I heard about those two in
KTU.
Austin that they said, take a break.
Yeah. So we're not going to get anybody in trouble. We're not, and we've been taking care of ourselves for this whole time. We've been trying everything and wearing masks, and we were speaking about this earlier as well. People are trying to shame or bully or point fingers at the people wearing masks, and I don't care. Because we talked about this a few weeks ago, maybe even last week. But my sister and I used to laugh because we'd see a lot of Asian people wearing masks way back when, before Wuhan clan or
That's a thing over there too. And
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it was funny because we're thinking, all right, you got a mask on. There's no eye protection. There's no glove. You know what I mean? It needs to be a hazmat suit. That's what it was back then. We were thinking, if you're trying to protect yourself from,
Yeah.
you need to be in a full body condom. So that's changed to we're just trying to be courteous to your neighbor and not just say even that we're trying to take care of ourselves and take care of you and take care blah blah blah. So with the increase and people wanting to know if we can come play and what will it take to, we don't want to cause a panic by a large gathering or a small gathering in a small place, big gathering in a small place or whatever. So these things have to be addressed, and we have to. So we have some things on the calendar. We have some events that we're, as of today, Stormy Monday. We're still
on the
planning
calendar.
still looking at going, but the mask and the hand washing and the constant jabber, it's boring now. I hate to talk about it, but it's just not going to be off the table because it has to be.
Yeah.
This is we can't make a living sitting in front of microphones in a,
True. Till we get a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Looking at you,
Romans.
caffeinated beverage.
Romans.
And
ED pills. Come on. We're getting up in age, right?
there are going to be more online shows. We're working with this company called Sessions currently. It's in beta right now, but I'm not sure exactly when that's going to start. But we will be sort of experimenting with that coming up pretty soon. Be sort of a step above, moving beyond the live streams we've been doing on Facebook. It's going to be a lot more interactive, I think. So,
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
the details are definitely going to follow. This group sessions they're trailblazers. I mean, they're looks like it's a legitimate outfit, and they're doing their homework, and they're backing their claim to be able to promote and execute these live streams too.
Yeah. They're not just providing the platform; they're actually working with you and promoting, like you said, promoting it, and actually because they're putting their own skin in the game too. They do well if we do well, basically. So there's something else I was going to say. I forgot what it is now. Great.
Yes, this is what we've been. We're still in the studio and we're recording, and the album is actually going into the mixing
phase.
Yeah, phase. I think
Segment.
probably in a couple of weeks. We've said this 1,000 times as well. We're crippled by time constraints. Time constraints are the studio time is golden because we can only get in for a couple hours a week. So we're trying to, and we're not going to push through anything that's not ready. So, but we are working extremely fast for the time that we have.
Yeah.
So, but it's not, well, you can be the judge of it yourself. We'll let you listen to some clips, but we're not pushing through stuff that's not ready. Whereas if you've heard standards before, sorry, you just, anybody that knows us knows that the album was thrown together really, really quickly. And this album is not, this album is, I'm just giddy because we've put our heart and soul into this. And it's been, the songs were written before you came along, but we were able to expand it, dig into them with Eric, and it took us to a different level because you just kind of blindly we're just throwing this stuff, and we were able to jump in and make something of it as it was happening. That was the thrill of it. But now it's in listening back to this stuff. It's like, okay, this has been it's got its own personality. I'm very excited.
It's got a really good energy to it.
Yeah.
So that's why we're going to need a fiddle player that we can not only tour with, but can come in and jump onto this moving freight train. This has been just so invigorating because we're hitting our stride as far as playing goes and writing, and we want to get somebody that's likes this kind of music or lots of different kinds of music, not just one style, and it is able to contribute immediately because it's got to be a 4-piece.
Yeah. Well, one thing I say about the recording sessions, we're definitely not rushing through anything, but I've been amazed every time we've gone in there how much we've gotten done in a really short amount of time. So it sounds like we're rushing, but we're not. I mean, we've every session, it's like we get to the end of the 2.5 hours, a 3-hour session, whatever, and okay, I guess that's enough for now. And we look back and we've tracked overdubbed like on 4 or 5 different songs in that span of time.
Yeah.
And I give full credit to Paul Beebe for
Wait, what?
moving us along.
Yeah, he mispronounced your name.
I guess not. I guess.
Yeah. Well, obviously, yeah. When we're doing the basic tracks,
Thank
obviously,
you.
yes. Yes, we
No,
could.
by overdubs, Paul. That's Paul's
Yeah,
category.
we've been in overdub mode for 3-4 months now, I think. So, right? When did we do the basic tracks in February?
I don't know.
I think it was January, actually.
I don't even know.
Was it January or was it I think January I just joined.
When the most recent one was like a month ago.
February was when I remember, I think going in February, March, maybe.
Yeah.
We might have a few more basic tracks coming out, maybe, for the record. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Because you said you had some other originals we might put on there.
These are the easy ones. These are ones that you guys haven't heard yet, but they're extremely easy compared to what we've done so far. And just the addition of personally, the addition of the fractal guitar rig for me has been eye-opening. It's just,
Is that Fractal TM trademark? Fractal?
Fractal?
The name of the company?
Yeah.
And what do they make again?
They make guitar rigs.
Yeah? For guitar players.
process. Yeah.
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 Nice.
And it's just every.
Thank you, Fractal.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's just because before you'd have to drag in certain types of amps and certain just
Pedals and
and then line 6 came along and it said this. If you don't really pay much attention, it sounds like this kind of
sounds sort of like
if you plug your ears and you hum really loudly, it really sounds like it. But the Fractal said, no, how about we take samples of each of these guitar rigs and we're going to put them into a guitar processor. And they did.
See, I thought Line 6 did that when they got started, but I think, did they not do that?
No, I think they got close to the tone, and then they gave it to Peter Pan, and Peter Pan said, or Mickey Mouse or something. It was just, I mean,
I remember when that shit came out, it was super popular, but at the same time, I could tell, I was like, it sounds a little too digital.
Yeah.
A little too brittle for my ears.
Thin, and
look, I got a 57 Tweed. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I owned a few different pod, some that you could switch, you could put it into your amp and play it through your amp, and it didn't translate. You could tell up close, but it seems like once you put it through a microphone and then through a PA, it's just not going to get
the same.
Yeah. So I and all the modeling amps and stuff like that, absolutely, it's just firewood is all it is. It's awful. And Fractal came along, and my friend Kent was Newman. He called me up and he said, "I'm on a waiting list right now." He said, "But I heard I didn't even look online when he said that he was on a waiting list, and he told me what I could do. I just ordered it, and mine came at the same time as his. Nice. They were back ordered for, and so." And Kent is a Houston guitar player, plays in a band called Diamond Jack. He plays in a few different bands, but his one band, Diamond Jack, they play all that 70s arena rock stuff. So he needs every different kind of, they'll do Peter Frampton, they'll do our favorite, Hotel California up top.
The Brotel.
Yeah. But they'll switch from Frampton to Eagles to all this, the Cars, your favorite, and they'll do all this stuff, and Steely Dan also. So you need every single kind of.
God, this band sounds terrible. Sorry, Kent.
Yeah, but I think there's 3 guitar players in that band, and each one of them are ridiculously good. I mean, they're beyond good. So my point is, Kent told me about this rig, and I just said, I'm just gonna get it, and I went on and I bought it, and so I called him up, got it. I just got my, and then Kent came over. We mouths dropped open on the floor listening to this thing, and now we don't drag 1,000 pounds of guitar amplifiers around, and then have that noise on the stage and the feedback and the whole, so.
Well, and the best thing about it, obviously for you, is you can finally, now with the addition of the in-ear systems we're using now, that you can actually hear yourself play for once.
Well, so here's the thing. So let's stand in front of any amplifier and just and play along with it and just try to sing. Just loud. Okay, put the amplifier against your face, play it loud, and then try to sing and then record that. So purists and these tone guys, I'll tell you what I think is a funny story. So I take my Diamond amp, which I still absolutely love. It's a Phantom model. So this is a 100-watt tube amp, and this thing is louder than Satan's sex. It's or what did it? I think Filthy Phil from Motorhead said it's louder than fucking Nicko McBrain in a frying pan. Anyway, so I take this amp because I have this amp on the record. I still love this amp. It's just the best guitar tone made here in Houston. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sam Austin, mm-hmm. and Jeff Diamond, and anyway, all those guys. So I take it to the shop the Steamboat amps to get fixed because I want this amp on the record. It sounds fantastic. Well, I bring it in there, and the guy behind the counter is like, "Oh, Diamond, oh, okay, I'll fix it." And he wrote a review. I didn't see it. I had heard that he wrote a review of the amp. He said, I hope I never have to work on this, this kind of amp again. It took me forever to do this, and this. And I don't care. Just turn it on, turn it up. That's all I care about. And so he fixed it, and I went in to pick it up, and I'd heard that he had given it this okay review. It was just a pain in the ass to work on, but I hope I never have to work on it again. So I went in there to get it, and he goes, "Yeah, well, it's done. He goes, it was a bit of a pain in the ass to fix and stuff like that." I said, "Well, you'll be happy to know I went to a Fractal," and his face. He just,
Not what he wanted to
so
hear.
yeah, he said, "Whoa, I didn't hate it that much." So he was completely dismayed. You just do not want to hear of these guys going to these guitar processors. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was.
Yeah. It's funny how I know that if you had tried to describe that to us, 12, 13 years ago, we would be like, fuck that. We got our amps, we got our tube amps, that's all we need. But after you've been doing this for this long, and when you do it this frequently, when you're doing it several times a week, and it just makes everything a lot easier, especially when they do sound as good as they do now.
Yeah. Well, Eddie Van Halen doesn't drag his 24 guitar stacks onto the.
He's got crew to do that.
He's got guys to do that. He's also got an in-ear system that costs more than my house.
Yeah.
And his and he gets to play 7 days a week, 24 hours a day if he wants. Mm-hmm. That's not the same.
Yeah.
When you have to throw that stuff in a van and you have the choice between dragging and also we always run risk of some cocksucker breaking in and stealing the stuff or driving off in your van. So do you want to lose a guitar processor or this amp rig that you put together over the years?
Right.
It ended up at the end, the guitar rig with time and money and all this, it was irreplaceable. Mm-hmm. After all the stuff and all the pedals and everything that you got to make that guitar rig, your personal rig, and to get that sound that you wanted to over all those years, there's not a price tag that can replace that.
It's like maintaining a classic car. Those old amps. The amount of although the tube amps particularly, you have to keep servicing them and everything. And they never even after you get them serviced, they never, at least to me, they never sound the same as when you first as new. It doesn't matter if you get it serviced as best you can. At least that was my experience with the Ampeg.
Well, I'm completely opposite of that. I think it sounds better with age. And,
really?
Yeah, but this Diamond rig in particular, I used to take it back to Diamond and say, well, because it was a Spitfire when I bought it. Again, this is just amp talk, and this should be saved for underwater creatures. This is not for human ears. This is not. It's not. Yeah, it's just boring. It really is boring. But just the reason why I love Diamond is they were made here in Houston, and it was all friends of mine that Jeff that owned the company. He also made the DBZ guitars, which I have far too many, and he gave me so many of them, and I never paid more than I think $300 for a guitar, and these are $1,500 guitars. Just and. So the nicest guys over there, and I used to just take it over there and go, hey, there's a little bit of a hiss when I do that. Okay, let's fix it. And it would just be fixed on the spot and never, put your hand in your pocket, and just great guys and really fun to go and hang out with them, because they're not only guitar, they're all, every single one of them could play guitar like better than any of the bands that I go and see. But they were just so much fun to just sit and talk shop with,
Mm-hmm.
So but the amplifier will never ever sound bad, as long as it doesn't. It sat for a long time there, and I think I'd be lying if I knew what was wrong with it this time. But these things, you can throw them down a flight of stairs, you can cut them in half with a chainsaw, and these guys can put it back together in no time, and the sound, it just, the reason why I love the Diamond rig is they're evil. They sound so mean, and then they just clean up to nothing with the flip of a switch, and just the really beautiful clean sound, and then the really dirty sound, which the only two sounds that I use. So
Yeah.
anyway, cut all that shit out. So, but I mean, and anybody's, your rig, you took it. You took a lot of time on your bass rig and your drums. You didn't just fall into a set of drums and say that's it, never changing. Everybody's your kit went through a makeover as soon as you came in with us. I mean, I even changed my. This is going to sound completely stupid, but to anybody out there who's not a drummer, but I even changed the head configuration. I asked Ash Sohn, who's a kind of a buddy, but he's also one of my favorite drummers. He used to play with a band called Delamitri back in the day, and we got to meet through Instagram, and I finally had him come to the convention last year, and we hung out a bunch, and he's just a sweet guy. I said, finally, I'm going to ask you a drum nerd question, finally. What is your head combination? Because your drums always sound great. He's like, oh, it's this and this. I'm like, oh, great. And I did that, and it's like, oh, yeah, now drums sound not like his, but they do sound good. I think they sound good for... They sound phenomenal. For that combination. Back to Laurie and Chris's, when I went out to sound check and heard, goosebumps when I heard the kit sounded so clean, so tight, and no hiss, no nothing, just and tuned to. That was when I Well, I mean, it's like Chad was saying, it's like you were saying, like you spend all this time getting that sound, but then you have to maintain it. Yeah, you have to find a way to maintain. And drums, especially because they're acoustic and there's all kinds of shit on them that can go loose and stuff like that. You got to keep an eye and ear out for that kind of stuff. Yeah. I will say, I haven't used an actual bass amp in a while now because Patrick and I have both gone direct. So I'm using several different pedals. It's actually just two pedals, tuner and compressor and a amp modeler. But I do miss, there are two different rigs I used to go back and forth between. Was my Heart Key and my Ampeg SVT being the tube amp. But I was just thinking, I think that the Heart Key is the one I used for the longest period of time, combined with that GK 410, which was the cheapest 410 I ever bought. I have two of them at home now. They're both worn to hell now. The cones anyway, the speakers themselves are blown. But that was like a $250 cab. Best sounding cab I think I've ever, and the Ampeg was great too in its day. Its day is long gone now. Well, what year was that Heart Key? The Heart Key it's their flagship, the 3500. I bought that from Sweetwater, I think in 2005. And it lasted me like well over 10 years. Yeah, some of that stuff is like just better constructed because they know either it's the best seller and they want to make sure that people are not having. I mean, some companies still give a shit about quality. So so you're not buying a new thing every 5 years or whatever. This is going to last you and they obviously understand their market because they understand that musicians don't make a whole lot of money. So having a $250 piece of equipment that you can still play 15 years later is remarkable. Yeah. In a good way. Yeah. 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 It's funny that when I first got that GK cab, I was complaining that, it's because it sounded to me, it always sounded kind of dry compared to the Ampeg cab. But it was a powerhouse, man. That thing, that little box really pushed a lot of air. So I dig that thing. Whenever someday when we get back to playing bigger stages, I'll keep the inner system, but it might be fun to have that behind us as well. So we'll put some rumble on the stage. Always fun to move some air. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The configuration of Gibson Les Paul and a Marshall amp, that's always been rock and roll to me. That's always been the beginning of rock and roll to me. But when you take that stuff on the road, when you bring that, whatever your guitar rig, whatever your guitar choice, whatever your pedals, whatever, you take that stuff on the road and you get robbed, the van gets robbed or the trailer gets robbed, and you just see it every single day. If you open any social media site, there's just people just prey on those guys. The thing I wish that people would realize is when you steal that stuff, not only have you stolen stuff that just can't be replaced for these guys, for this, these bands, but you've taken these priceless, so in most cases, priceless because of time and effort and stuff putting into this. So you're taking these priceless rigs and all this gear away from these people, and you're not going to get any money for it. You cannot resell that stuff for a fraction of what they paid. So
stop stealing shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Yes, that's it. Stop it. But you of course you're never going to stop because they're, and even just the reach that people have now. If you steal a vintage guitar, I remember we were talking about Junior Brown, a few months back, had his Git Steel stolen, the guitar / steel slide thing that he plays. There's only one of them. There's the prototype, and then there's the one that he played. But there's only the one guitar, and they stole that. What are you going to do with that?
Exactly.
Are you going to learn how to play it? No.
You're going to show up at a gig with that fucking thing?
Yeah.
Guess what's going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
dumb.
Yeah. I don't want. I've seen him play a bunch of times. I don't even want to touch it. I don't want to be. That's an appendage it belongs to him.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it. Keep doing what you're doing.
So weird.
Yeah. So anyway, that took a dark turn. Let's get back to amplifiers. So no. So I think we should just keep amplifiers off topic forever, because but my God, that's boring. I was fast asleep behind my mouth
as you were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gear talk. Yeah. None of us are really gearheads. It's funny that Mike knows more about everything than anybody else I know, even stuff that he really doesn't have any business knowing. But Mike was always the guy to ask questions about electronics or any kind of
Yep, and you feel just so unprepared. So, well, no, I just bought it because it's loud. It's louder than your drums.
It looks
so I
nice.
bought it. Yeah, it's shiny. So.
Yeah, I don't talk that much gear. Once in a while, I'll get a guy that will come up and ask me about. Okay, we can dive into the gear thing. But there's some friends of mine that are just so deep into it. I'm just like, and you have a girlfriend? Okay, cool. It's good to know. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I like gear, but I'm not going to sit there and study the manuals and the.
Well, you know what
like
you
that.
have, and you know what it does, and you know how to maintain it, and that's the.
Well, I mean, I look at a lot of other companies' stuff and look what they're doing, and there's some stuff that that looks really cool, or that's completely dumb, and like the new Mapex Tom holder, what a mistake that is. But and you look at company, the
Tom holder
holds Tom on the stand. It looks like. So you have toms. The toms are drums, tom-toms.
Yeah. See, when a man loves a woman.
Yeah, when a man loves a woman, and they really like each
Special
other.
hug.
So on my bass drum, I have that post with a little arm coming out. You put the tom on that little arm.
Right.
Thing. Very simple design.
Yeah.
It's been designed that way, it's more or less. I mean, it's DW's design, but you look at old Ludwigs or whatever. They've been designed that way for 70 years or so. Generally the same kind of thing. Mapex, this company out of, they're owned by Sonar, which is a German company. Mapex is up in Nashville. They came out with this tom arm at NAMM a couple years ago. And I remember like somebody saying, come here, come take a look at this. So I walk over to the Mapex booth, and there's this thing attached. I think it was on a stand, and here comes the tom out of it above the bass drum. And we'll have to maybe post a picture of it or something like that, because it's just the most unmusical looking thing. It's the most like robotic, like, okay, we've reached the 21st century now as far as design goes. Sonar, as a company itself, I think over engineers their products. They put too much metal on the drums. They put too much stuff on them. It should be just a wing nut and a bracket. That's all we need. And so Mapex, being a subsidiary, they came out with this thing. It's just so I do look at gear. I look at stuff to be like, is it functional? Is it going to work? Is it affordable? I mean, because I'm always thinking about just not me, but my students or anybody else that has a question about drums or stuff like that. Or even talking with Joe Blow about, hey, what kind of heads do you use? That kind of shit. So
it's on that because I'm the complete opposite. I don't look at gear until I need gear. then I look for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because the Guitar Center still sends me stuff. I don't know how they got this address because I wouldn't piss on that place if it was on fire. But, yes, I don't know the latest good, I see there's the great guitar coming out. I tell people all the time, if you want to start playing guitar, now is the time, because you can get a $200 brand new guitar that plays, that you can take onto a stage. You can take out of the shop and onto the stage because they're built that well now. Because you can't be that Sears guitar back in the day where the strings were, a mile off the fretboard, and you can't pass off gear as gear because people's taste people are just used to really well crafted stuff now. The machinery and these manufactured, these guitars that are just manufactured, thousands a minute. So you're just, everything that you buy guitar wise now seems to be just playable and rock ready. All right. So that's thrilling to me, in that, if you're ever on the road and something breaks or gets stolen, you can go into a shop and you can get something that, that's affordable and ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's probably the same with drums too. You could probably get by, you're not going to be thrilled with it. You're not going to be,
You could get by. There's a lot of, especially during the holidays, you look at flyers, especially from Guitar Computer or Guitar Center. Paul calls it Guitar Computer. Whatever. I guess it's funny.
without a laugh track.
There's a lot of $299 drum sets, a lot of $399 drum sets, and they're shit. I mean, sound percussion, I get it, but man, it's just it's the lowest end of the lowest end, and one Blaggards gig that I would destroy that set. I promise you, it would be just in pieces.
Let's do it. Note to self.
In pieces when it's done. But having said that, you go just even $100 higher to or even a $350 or $400, you can get a decent shell pack, which is just drums, kick drum, rack tom, floor tom, and you'll get legs for the floor tom and maybe a mounting, that thing I was just talking about, the mounting thing for the tom tom. That's it. So what drum sets have done now in the last 10, 15 years or so is they've gone from selling full kits, which includes kick pedal, drums, snare stand, might even include a hi-hat stand and a cymbal stand, to just selling the shells. You got to buy the hardware extra. So you think you're getting a good deal because, this drum set's only $450, but you still got to buy stands. You still got to buy a pedal. You still got to buy a throne. So then now your $450 is now $800 or whatever. So drum companies have kind of done away with it. But if you already have hardware, like any good drummer does, I have a couple sets, then you can just, that shell pack looks cool. How much is it? $450? Fucking done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and kind of off topic. So somebody wants drum lessons today, which I say you're never, ever too old for drum lessons, for any lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, any lesson, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people have asked us, we did a whole show on it. People said, is it too late? Is it? No.
Never.
No.
And now is the time. There's never been a better time than right now, than stay the fuck home and learn something.
Yep.
And I would just say, so Eric, is there a way that somebody could contact you if they wanted to get a drum lesson? Because I know you've been doing a lot of just
what a nice segue.
Yeah.
I
See,
10% in the mail.
No, but in all seriousness, I just because it's been a recurring theme over the years, is the lessons, the online, and it's a fine. It's down to a perfect science right now to do this online stuff, to where you can be there virtually, and even better that you're not dragging this stuff in and setting up two kits, because you can do it. Mm-hmm. So, but is there a way that we can contact you for drum lessons to learn online? How would one go about that?
We can reach out through Blaggards, either through the website or they can email me directly.
What's that email?
txdrums@gmail.com. T as in Tom, X as in X-ray, drums, all one word, TX, like Texas drums. I'm surprised that wasn't taken, but I scored it.
Do you know why?
TX
Because
drums
they
at
waited
Gmail.
for you.
Gmail comes through again.
Yes.
Spying on me right now.
Yeah.
txdrums@gmail.com. And it's funny you say that, because today at 4, I have a lesson with a guy from Connecticut who's actually in Connecticut. I have a lesson with him today.
But so. I cannot stress that out. It's just, it's so important to learn from somebody that's not sitting behind a book, that knows the book thing. It's so important. If you want to learn, you got to learn from somebody that walks it, somebody that lives it, somebody that breathes it, somebody that is in it, and somebody that is adaptable. That's we were talking about in the podcast. Right time. You came in at the right time because it was just getting in, just stale enough to where, we were going to have to start doing a Fight Club thing on camera or something to spice it up. But the same thing with learning from a drummer that's able to go through different, especially being so steeped in jazz and so the love of rock and the love of this big band. That's just all this stuff that's just translates into the perfect. I really do. I think a wonderful teacher is able to kind of shine a light on wherever you want to start. And even if you wanted to start at the Portnoy or the I want to play everything that's not welcome. The Lars Ulrich School of, we have
that was our school of drumming.
Yeah, we have, or the Portnoy plays every single lick, every single time, every minute. So I cannot be more serious when I say if you want to learn drums, this is the way, this is the time. We should
give me a holler.
Yeah.
Or if somebody knows, it doesn't matter. And to our listeners out there, it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, as long as we have some kind of internet connection, we can just do it. I got a drum set up at home, and I've been doing lessons from home for the last 3 months anyway. So it's easy. I got a nice system.
Yeah.
I got a couple.
And somebody can just have a practice pad and
absolutely
sticks to start.
Yeah, the guy today, he just started, and he's an older guy, and he just has a practice pad. And so we just have him play the hands on the pad. I just have him tap his feet or stomp his feet on the ground to get the pedal, just to get the feel for it of what his body is supposed to do. And eventually when he gets a drum set, that'll translate into pushing the pedals down and working all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That also might be cool when we talk to our friend Keith across the way, and it might be kind of cool to just give a little demo of what you're, while we're set up anyway, because it might be, we can use it to sound check, and you can use it as a little demo video just to have out there. Because I think it'd be I think there'd be a waste of time, and I think you're losing money if you don't call them. That's a lot. No, but I think it'd be a waste of time not to use that time that we're set up to just do a little promo video for it. We don't,
Yeah.
We don't even have to use this section in here. But I really just think, especially after our conversation today, I just think it'd be good
fun. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Little spark.
Did you ever take guitar lessons at any point?
No.
Yeah.
I used to steal money. I used to get guitar lesson money from my mother and use it for cigarettes. And she never.
That's the way to do
She
it.
tried to get you to take lessons.
No. I told her I wanted to get guitar lessons.
Okay.
And then she didn't try it. No, she didn't. She had 8 kids.
Would you learn?
She what number are you? Get the fuck out of here. No, it's just.
To use as an excuse to get money for cigarettes?
Yeah. I remember.
Did you own a guitar at that time though?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. The double hoodwink.
Well, yeah. I went into Dublin, and I probably couldn't even find the shop now. We found this little music shop down one of these little alleys. Saying, I know for a fact it's not there anymore. Boring the crap out of the drummer. God, no. I know for a fact it's not there anymore. It just can't be, because it was impossible to find. Somehow I found it, and I went into the shop, and I can still see the guitar hanging from the wall, and it was this kind of a Fender Firebird looking guitar. It was this what they call a sunburst guitar with this tortoise shell or pick guard. And if that doesn't mean anything to you, good. It shouldn't. Ugly guitar, but it played really good. The action was really, meaning the strings were really, really close to the fretboard, and I can go billy, 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 billy on it. And actually, I never learned to do anything else. So I bought I think it was £75 for the guitar, and it didn't come with a case, but I didn't want a case because I wanted to carry it.
So people would see him.
People would see me. Oh, that guy was the long hair, the guitar. Yeah, he's probably He's probably a rock and roller. That's all I wanted. And I didn't want lessons. I did, of course. Yeah, I would learn. I'd have taken lessons if there was somebody like Eric or somebody like a guitar teacher that wasn't going to go da 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 da.
Right.
I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go home and say, look, if you go badla 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 badla, then you can be able to do this really. And just I wanted technique, not theory.
Yeah.
I just and there's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. But I like to put the cart before the horse in most everything. So our guitar teacher, I had no interest in guitar lessons because I don't want scales. I don't want to take sheet music home. I don't want to, I want it to sound like something. And I did take over here. There's a bass player in town called Keith Vivens, and he plays with bands like TKO. I saw him out in this jazz trio, just bass, Pat Hunt's jazz trio, a bass piano, and well, it was sometimes a drummer, sometimes a horn player, but Keith Vivens plays this. When I saw him play, he was playing the 6-string bass, and he played everything, and he played every note, and everything was warranted, everything was needed as he played. It was just mind blowing. Anyway, I took one bass lesson from him, and it was great because he showed me what he called the spider do da do da do da do da, and it sounded like something, but it was also finger exercises. It was also something that would put you in touch with getting your hands in shape to play, because you play a 4-hour gig, you're going to need a little dexterity and a little bit of power to get through this. So that was phenomenal just to have that moment, to learn that stuff. So no, I didn't.
Did you who would how did you learn how to, like, early on when you were first getting serious about it? How did you learn how to string your guitar and all those basics and stuff? Did anybody?
That's a really good question. I have no idea.
Yeah,
because we didn't have computers or I must have had.
It must have been somebody gave you a tip, like, or showed you how to do it, right?
Well, it's just trial and error. I think I know that on the audition, my first guitar. I did have a guitar when I was very, very young. I was given an acoustic guitar for a birthday or something, and some cousins were over and they jumped on it and smashed it, and I never got another one. So, but I do remember so when I broke strings on my audition, I remember there being no strings for a long time, and then but the ones that were remaining, the strings that were remaining, I just copied the direction, that they were going in, so I could, but I had no idea how to tune it, and how to set the action, how to get stop the buzzing, and if one of the frets was buzzing, you just bend the string on the fret before it just to get past that, and so it was a lot of trial and error, and a lot of days without guitar because strings were. I never had backup strings.
Yeah.
And then thanks to Wayne at Sweetwater, I bought this big order of strings, and they now come in this cardboard box with this plastic thing. You just open it up, and all the strings, because they're all color coded. So you just whatever string you want. It's in a box, but it's in a plastic tube inside the thing. So all these strings are, and you just. What an
age we live in.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, I want to restring all my guitars. No, I don't.
I remember early on, my first guitar was a nylon classical, and I definitely did not play classical guitar, but that was the guitar my mom bought me from Rockin' Robin when I first asked for a guitar, and I didn't know how to tune it, didn't know a chord, didn't know how to string it. And there's one of the first things that happened with that guitar is I broke one of the strings. Can't remember which string it is now, but I had
G string.
Yeah, I had extra strings, but I had no idea how to string it, and it's not as easy, with the steel string. You just put it through the little notch.
Classical strings are a little different.
A little different. Yeah, there's a special knot you're supposed to do at the bottom at the bridge, and I had no idea how to figure it out. So a friend of mine, my friend Sean Morelli, who was also a
Novice
guitar player at the time. He started about a few months before I did. He had a friend named Carolyn who was a classical guitar player in the instrumental department at HSPVA where we went to school. So he arranged for us. We all met in the parking lot one day, and so I brought my guitar, and so she showed me how to actually tie the knot. And
That's
everything.
fun.
So I was actually, after that, I was okay. But then when a year later, for the following Christmas, my dad bought me my steel string guitar, which is still owned to this day. That's the Martin Sigma that Patrick paid Neil Sargent to fix up. I don't know, a couple years ago now.
Nice.
And I'm playing that guitar every day now. It's still a beautiful sounding guitar.
Cool.
Tis indeed. So what did we learn?
What have we learned today?
Good. Me neither.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah. But it's so, as it stands right now, the first Friday in Bryan is looking less and less likely, but it hasn't been cancelled officially. Pirate Festival hasn't been cancelled. They're selling tickets. The VIP tickets are all sold. That's at Warehouse Live, and then Wildcatters still going forward. So middle of July.
The day before?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So hasn't been cancelled. And then at the end of July, there's a talk of the Iowa Irish Festival, and there's talk of
Please hold.
So I think we were talking about Wildcatters, right? When that phone.
We can talk about Wildcatters if you want to. I'll tell my Wildcatter story next week.
Wildcatter.
You have a story?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a new place. No.
I'm not sure what it was called when I played there, but I'll tell you that story next week. It'll be something we can. Next time on SlapperCast. Dun, dun, dun. It'll be like a Flash Gordon serial here. Hear Eric's story about playing at the Wildcatters before it was called that.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's it then.
Suspense.
Yeah. I'm not moving until next week. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait right here.
Get the ass screw working on that chair.
Yeah. So what did we learn? We learned that we really appreciate you listening and telling your friends. And if you can give us a review, go ahead and do it. And we're extremely excited about coming back to play whenever the fuck that's going to be. But thanks for all your comments and questions, all that stuff. It's been very, very fun. And this will end just with your help. Everybody just looking after your neighbors, look after yourself. And we just it's going to come back. It's going to come back, and it's going to be better than ever. When, don't know, but I promise you, that's going to happen. Drum lessons are up and running. If you want to talk to our friend Eric, I want to personally guarantee that your satisfaction. If not, Chad will give you your money back. And then, we're looking forward to seeing all of you in person, and hopefully it's going to be really fucking loud next time we see you.
Yes.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. We will see you next week, folks.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.